Oh, it started. Okay, I was just. Okay. Let's do Stanislas method, the method of the judge or judication. Let's see what's up for you. Okay. Two of Cups. Three of Swords. Okay. Seven of Pentacles. Wheel of Fortune. The sentence is the Hangman in reverse. Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups means, since you have major arcanas here, three of them for that matter, the judge, what works against you, and the sentence. Your judge is the Two of Cups. In your favor is the Three of Swords. Working against you, Wheel of Fortune. The synthesis, Seven of Pentacles in reverse. And the sentence, the Hangman in reverse. Free, free. 1 to 7. Okay. Oh, okay. The judge, Ten of Swords. Missing someone terribly. A younger, probably dark-haired man. Three of Swords. Pain in the heart. Again, missing someone terribly. It seems to be in your favor. Page of Swords energy. Incoming messages or communication from someone that you've been missing terribly. Painful separation. There's generally genuine pain here due to a separation. And an ongoing, very strong bond connection. Seven of Wands, 7-7 here. The synthesis. Working against you. Victory in reverse. 5 of Wands. You gotta put your ego on the side. You gotta sacrifice something here. There's a need to release, despite, regardless your feelings. Painful separation. This is rather, I feel, an emotional release with an acceptance of loss or failure. Last but not least, the judge says 10 of Wands. 10 of Swords. And the sentence being anger, resentment, widow energy. aloneness, bitterness. Well, the beginning of a journey of coming back up, restoring faith, or moving in the right direction. The angry feminine, the broken-hearted, the dark feminine. 10 of Wands in reverse. So the sentence is, whether you want it or not, you have to genuinely move. You can no longer stand in this position anymore. There's no way of thinking of, you love someone that you are not with at this time. That love is not gone. You're mourning. You are going to continue to mourn, but by moving forward, regardless, there's no way for you to actually overcome this pain other than movement forward. You got to literally defy it, go against it, overcome it, while acknowledging it, but also trying to slowly open up towards or something new, hope, positivity, faith. It's very hard. This is a depressive state triggered or caused by actual pain, loss, failure, aloneness, abandonment. Terrible pain. Dark night of the soul was triggered by a connection of love. Right. So that's clear. It's revealed to a conscience level, 10 of Swords. You're processing it emotionally. You've been suffering for a while here. You've been in mourning. Bottom of the deck, yet another 7. The 7 of Swords. There was deception or dishonesty here. Things weren't clear. Timing was a factor, by the way. In your favor, this is telling you that this was exactly how it was supposed to happen, even though it's extremely painful. You have nothing but love for this person. Whatever they have to say, though, you need to take it upon you if you want that clarity, if you have that option. And I believe in their own manner, they already did try to tell you. They did. It's unrequited. They do not feel the same way. They're free, they're single, and they're available. The point is not them cheating or betraying you. I don't think they've ever made any actual promises per se. So you're heartbroken because the person you're in love with and you love tremendously, you connect at a deep level, has been quite of trying to tell you, whether in a rude manner, and that's been working in your favor in the sense of this was the information necessary, which normally would have helped you to move on and just let go, but you just can't. So there is hope, except it's misdirected. The hope was that they were either lying, hiding their feelings towards you, afraid, runner, chaser, diner. It's not true. They're simply not connected to you in the same manner. It's one-sided. They're not interested. I'm sorry. They were honest. In some manner, they actually conveyed that to you. Either through criticism, some rudeness, some sharp remark, they did try and tell you via communication, or lack thereof, if they ghosted, if they cut you out. We get it. The person is free, available, but they don't connect with you. I'm sorry. In your favor, upcoming energy is acceptance of a loss. Acceptance that something wasn't destined or meant to be. You trying to stop time in order for something to happen perpetuates this spiraling down. It literally prevents you from fulfilling your purpose and enjoying your journey, your life, exploring, or rather discovering what is for you, what has the capacity to actually love you as you deserve, honor and respect you, what recognizes you, doesn't judge you, doesn't criticize you, doesn't try to change you. You don't feel as if you need to change or be something. There's an identity crisis, a very personal crisis that's very profound to do with the fact that you feel that you're not enough. Your pain is real. And it's tremendous. It ties in with things to do rather with your entire journey here, the inner child. It's very deep, profound pain of unrequited love, of not. There was a connection there, except it translates differently for the person. Also, it's your very tendency, your very pain, your very darkness that didn't allow for something to actually unfold into something else. You weren't able to compromise. You weren't able to be positive. You weren't able to actually genuinely connect with the person and see what they would actually need. You were trying to be authentically yourself, and at that time, you may have been extremely intense, also broken to begin with. And yeah, that just didn't allow for something, for whichever chance it could have had, it would have still implied some sacrifice. In this case, you constantly feeling that you need to turn yourself into what the person may have needed in order to make them happy, but not because you would have chosen to, but rather in order for you to be validated and accepted. But that implied for you to actually disregard all of your other actual emotional states, the pain that you were experiencing in regards to all the other aspects of your life. And so you would have had to lie or try and turn into something that you simply were not at the time. You were heartbroken already when you met this person. Hence why the projection, the expectation was so, you may have idealized, not even genuinely connected with the person, to the point where you disregarded something that they said that otherwise any other person would have found extremely offensive. You have the right to, and acted accordingly. Would have drawn the right conclusions. The person is not interested. They have no respect for me. They don't care about my pain, or they're unconsiderate towards me. And it's not about painting the person as either being good nor bad. They simply don't connect with you in that manner. Maybe romance-wise, you may have dealt with someone with strong, predominant water in their chart. Or again, the connection itself was karmic. You connected in some form of a trauma that they themselves are probably not even processing, or they just have different approaches. And there was a union, a meeting of hearts here at one point. It was genuine to some extent, profound enough for you to consider that this is the end-all be-all, your person. The judge says again, the hangman in reverse, you didn't have things clear. You seem to still struggle, even though consciously you actually know if you were to unwind and kind of remember something that they've said, the way they communicated with you and so on. But even if you do know, and it's one thing to, know, and it's another to be able to release and process and accept. 7, it's a necessity, 7 here, to evaluate. And you've been stuck in this loop of evaluation, in a maze, in a haze, in a darkness. And there's no amount of crying that's going to make someone, or change a heart, or make someone love you if they're not meant for you. Yeah, 7. Despite all odds here, the moment you actually make that decision wholeheartedly, that there's no amount of waiting or of suffering or of reminiscing or of hoping or of trying to strategize or of readings or that's going to change this. And even if it would, if it required that amount of effort to have someone just give you the time of day, why would you even want it? So again, despite all odds, there seemed to be the strength to actually admit or accept defeat. There's an inner struggle though, in full understanding, and a need to go against what you perceive to be that would have been your fate. Acceptance of something that wasn't meant for you. The judge says, shift your perspective or it will be changed for you, one way or the other. Move forward. I'm sorry for your loss. Great personal sorrow. It's very intimate. This brought you back to having to connect with your inner child. But are you listening to this child? Are you giving it a chance to have his or her needs actually fulfilled? Are you comforting her? Are you just punishing her for not being enough? Are you blaming her? Are you holding her accountable? Are you constantly telling her or him that she's not enough or he's not enough? It's a girl though. March. Hope. Healing. Restoration. Faith. Purity. Serenity. Unsettled times and need to plan ahead. The leap energy. A leap. A marriage will take place, either romantic or in business. There's a cycle awaiting for you, a covenant, a promise. You have a different destiny. This person wasn't meant to be a part of it. Not beyond or past this point which triggered the shadow work. Beware of greed. When you do meet your counterpart here, remember to be grateful for them, okay? Don't take advantage of their kindness, openness, or generosity. Precisely because you may not know how to navigate. You may not be used to being treated well. But at one point, hence why you would forget about this. Since you have the tendency, since you've been going through a process that's very intimate and personal, individualistic, you needed to conquer personal power and so on. Find yourself, and this may lead to your inability to actually, seek for temperance, for, your struggle should be to always aspire towards balance, much like water to always find. So be careful not to take advantage. Excesses in any way. Also take care about your diet. Your diet needs to change. Most importantly, try not to eat any sacrificial meat or major challenges to overcome. You got to take a leap somewhere, aspire towards something, even if it appears incredibly hard or impossible, or just go for it. Something important, new job or a raise. So use wisely what's coming towards you. From lack to prosperity. All you have to do is be willing to take that step and make that decision, the resolution with yourself, and getting back to basics. Again, don't overspend, don't overeat. Connect with everything you put into your body and the actual people that you meet as well. Connect with who they are, not who you would need them to be or you would hope them to be or potential, or no, actually listen, observe, pay attention, and make your own decisions. Money or property for an inheritance, winning or windfall. For some of you, there's an actual loss. This has to do with contracts, leases, opportunities overall, documentation, wills, testaments, marriages. So money or property for an inheritance, winning or windfall. As I said, you're going towards expansion here, even though the Wheel of Fortune here seems to be working against you. It's because you're convinced of it. How could you not be from this state? How could you not be from this state? But this is telling you things can only go down for so long, and then they're going to go up if you go along with them. The boat goes over the water, so there's an elevation, a raising, a getting down to business, learning to take care of yourself, your health, focusing on your needs and priorities, thinking about yourself for a moment. Back to the drawing table. Acknowledgement of one's circumstances, and possible challenges ahead. And God working through some means to actually encourage you in that direction, support you. So the bigger the obstacles, usually, the more observable external elements and connections and interactions and the workings of God will be, right? Synchronicities and tangible events, that translate into tangible resources, opportunities, ideas, and finding lost items, stuff like that, right? Because the task ahead is incredible, so will be the resource and the support that you will receive at this time. Again, if you're willing, which it's a lot easier said than done. It seems that the only way you could feel willing to do it is out of just outright faith, restoration and healing of that inner child, connection with center and source, hope, and an action that translates it as a bit abrupt, because in order to come out of this, right, this is the sentence, it seems almost you got to do a flip, a 180. But not in order to enter the state, but to flip out of it, because it's reversed. Piscean energy there, Two of Cups there, both air, earth, water. So you need to plan ahead. You need to anchor yourself back into reality. Again, acknowledge your suffering. Focus on priorities. Receive your blessings and make the most out of them. Fear nothing that's in front of you. Learn to navigate over the waters in the sense of acknowledging and always honoring your emotions, your pain, but also learning to actually turn them into a source of empowerment, of motivation, so honoring your actual emotional needs by continuing to move throughout reality in a very practical sense, very grounded, rational, logical. There may be also judgment in regards to you actually pursuing fulfillment of your needs. You may feel you're not undeserving. So that's why I say you don't have genuine measure of what's too much, what's too little. You may go from extreme to extreme. This is extreme. This is extreme. This is extreme, because sometimes it's being undependable and unsincere. Having things hanging in the air, but that's also the realm of potential, entertaining ideas, creativity, expression, self-expression through writing. But again, it's also signing, making new covenants, new projects, new plans, starting to manifest something into reality. And the ring, you can associate it with a new level or a new frequency, new level of existence, new way of experiencing reality, pursuing a new desire, ability to again overcome, or even without having to ignore or leave, gain some closure, or just in acceptance that, hey, it's water, I'm gonna need a boat to get past it. Yes, and you're gonna get it, you get the resources, right? So it's both elevation, it's an alignment in between elevation, consider mind, right, ether, spirit, and so on, your emotions as you're processing. That's what the tears also represent, your ability to heal and navigate and move forward and advance, cross, transition, expand, so some level of integration. Also there where necessary, making that effort in order to take a leap into the unknown, maintaining connection and being able to rejoice in the smallest of things, recognizing sacred connections, spiritual family connections in the heart, purer kind and platonic kind of love, especially with other beings, plants, nature, flowers, etc., life. Believing in hope, rebirth, and resurrection and restoration, transformation after death. And along the way, you learn to also moderate when you're going to start having too much of something. And that calls you back to also see how are you trying to compensate, because that's going to happen for the emotional lack, and see how you can move towards fulfilling your needs, whether practical or otherwise, with more honesty and less guilt and so on, or expectations of anyone else to do it, taking it upon yourself to acknowledge your needs, meet someone where they're at, take them seriously when they're trying to actually convey who they are, and making decisions accordingly, and continuing to move forward. Not because you can see the path, because you can't. Everything seems to paint it in such a dreadful manner. It's because you have to have faith. You have to honor that inner child that came here to fulfill or experience or explore or conquer something. Right? Divine vessel. Either way, it's Ten of Swords, so it's a release in some sense. A healing, and again, a need to take a leap. That first leap is. So stop feeling guilty about you having needs as well. And start trying to honor those needs, or allow yourself to be guided towards how those needs are going to be fulfilled. Honor your desires as well. And stop trying to control how they're going to be fulfilled. Just follow with the path. Right? And timing is also a factor. Resources and so on. Cycles. Sacred feminine energy. Equivalence. Alignment and synchronicity. Temperance. Union. So what you've always known, and it's actually the truth, is you've always wished for, hoped for, and probably ever since childhood, is for this union to happen. It will, except not with that person. Don't worry, you're not going to be alone. You may have inadvertently embraced this and started, becoming this, the widow, Anyway, expect communication. Am I on the right path? In reverse. Sometimes we second guess what we are doing. We lose trust in the process and question if we are even on the right path at all. Know this. You are on the right path. Keep going. Keep believing. Keep remembering that you made a soul contract that you are currently fulfilling in every area of your life. Even if you can't see it, that doesn't mean it's not real. Today, search for all the ways you are aligned with your soul's purpose. The signs will appear. Let this newfound trust fuel your next steps. Precisely. I couldn't have said it better myself. There is resistance to this. On whom am I placing blame right now? Yourself. I'm going to read this one as well because it was up right underneath this one. A person who blames others has not begun their lessons. Their lesson. A person who blames themselves has begun their lesson. A person who blames no one has finished their lesson. So where are you at this stage? I believe you're kind of jumping in between all of those, which actually it's quite the right thing to do. If one were to be fair, you gotta determine what where your mistake, quote unquote, was, if you're gonna see it that way, in order to kind of correct, and where someone else's mistake was. Or was it even a mistake? Was it a mistake for that person to try and convey that they don't actually care, that they don't love you? Was it a mistake for them not to reply to your message if they didn't feel like it? Was it only a mistake because it hurt you? Was that their intention to begin with? No, I think they had no intention towards you. Your person is someone overall extremely honest, intelligent, has charisma, some softness about them as well, can see through nonsense and deception, very straightforward, probably an extrovert with a side that they reserve strictly the most vulnerable and pure and for their special ones. There is marriage in your future looking forward in the long run. And you going through this process, you kind of always end back to, it's me. Today's soul action, take responsibility. On whom are you placing blame right now? Why place blame either way? If this is it's what was necessary for you to experience, conquer, see or know in order to improve in your life, in order for you to actually conquer self-esteem, love and respect for yourself, first and foremost. So you got to cultivate new habits, new mentality, new. Today, free yourself by releasing all victimhood, blame and resistance. They don't belong where you are going. Only love and courage live there. Make a choice to do it, even if you don't feel ready. Listen to your heart. You will be held. Led. Held. Okay. So the leap of faith consists in you. This is a very fast, quick kind of a decision here that's going to occur. It does involve some courage. Two people are literally guided towards one another. You're probably from different cultures. I definitely see differences in culture, in age. This marriage is going to occur by surprise. It's going to unfold not in your generally expected kind of a manner. There is no strategy, no pattern here. It's going to unfold pretty fast. So the message is an actual offer, I believe. Even though initially it may not be like, hey, let's get married, but that's what it translates. That's what the intention behind it is. So this must be someone who's already known you in some form. And it's also probably someone who's just been sitting on the side that has yet to attempt to actually reveal or express their intentions. I think that these intentions unfolded within them all of this time. This is a profound kind of a connection. Someone who lives either far, definitely with the ship, or yep. Oh, I see why. The defensiveness, your struggles, your unwillingness to let go of something or try to do something differently, or told them, I just gotta sit here. They're gonna be direct. There's no misunderstanding. If it's someone from your past, it's finally the release, the wheel of fortune. It's gonna flip the moment. Either you take it upon you to try and, ask the question to the person. If you really need that pain, if you think you can handle it, if you're ready, then again, why shouldn't you, if that's the price for your own liberation, to call a person and say, hey, did you ever love me? And even if they say, oh yeah, but it doesn't, let's just drop it. You're going to feel it. You're going to know. Finally, you're going to be able to release it. Because up until now, you would have probably thought that you need to escape that confirmation. You need to escape the moments where you actually felt as if they didn't care. You tried hating them for it. It didn't work. You tried hating yourself for it. It didn't work. You acknowledge, that it simply wasn't meant to be. And by the end of it, the person has really no conscious involvement in the process that you've been going through. They have no part in it other than being the means through which, they represented kind of the catalyst for this whole process of death and rebirth for you. Are you ready for commitment? There's healing here, the caduceus, the rising of the passions from the lower realms, elevation of the passions. This is noble, elevated, purified, divine, sacred love and connection. There's going to be no doubt here. It's going to be a yes or no. And I feel you're going to say yes. Your person is ready for the great encounter. As are you, whether you realize it or not. This is a person that has been considering this for a while. They recognized you. You were just too stuck in pain. You never saw them. You never considered that there was even possibly another in this moment of looping and processing. You never considered that there would be another person for you. It was just too painful. So in that morning, you never realized that you're not wrong. You are suffering, except for your actual half. You did call in your other half, but it wasn't that person. Your cries did call in the spirit of your other half. They're there. They exist. They know of you. To some extent, they have to. It's someone who may have been also seeing the same thing. Oh, wow, this is going to be hard. How do we do this? Mustering the courage, acknowledging the connection, probably trying to find the best way to write or express, or timing. I think it's an important factor here. And at your lowest, when you're finally willing to accept some failure, and right, here comes destiny fulfilled, but again, in a manner that you could never anticipate or expect. We don't control how our needs are fulfilled or met, or who our person is, or we can try and break our own hearts in the process. Great poster, yeah, that's what they saw. Great happiness. Harmonize also through music. Is it? Is it? Is it? Leonic energy till August, strong water in their chart. Probably air as well. Geminic energy. Two of Cups, we stand in line with the Lover. So Geminic when it comes to air, maybe Libra. Water, probably Scorpionic or Cancerian. Earth, Taurus or Virgo. Fire, Aries or Leo. Yeah, Taurus, Gemini, Leo. Cancer. Many blessings. Shalom.